Welcome to the Freelance Drive. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. Stay tuned for real-life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Vanessa Henry Epstein, a business and legal communication language leader expert who specializes in public speaking and communication, particularly for individuals whose first language is not English. So, welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you, Yuri. Thank you so much for having me.
We already had an amazing webinar with you, and this just continuation of the conversation. So I'm really curious. You are talking about leadership. You are talking like, what does it mean to be a leader? So what does it mean to be a leader as a freelancer?
Great. So I'd love to focus first on just being a freelancer before we even get to becoming a leader, because I think it's really tricky to start as a freelancer, especially if you're coming from a place where you're employed or it's a big risk, it's a big jump. So I want to tell you what is really challenging, to be part of being a freelancer. And I know that through the past few years, a freelancer myself, I think it's really important to strengthen your soft and hard skills. And what's really super important is having the grit, passion, and energy. Now, how can we get that? It's very easy for me to say that. How did I do that? I actually realized what were my weaknesses? What did I need to improve on? Okay. So I went on a few courses. I went on this course through Jolt UK. It's how to set up your business. It's actually created by an Israeli company, but they also have subsidiaries in England, so you can actually learn online through Zoom. I also learning from you, all of you, being in business, talking, communicating. I've leveraged LinkedIn as much as I could. I think this is a great platform to actually learn from other experts, explore it, be part of conversations, events, follow people. For example, I know I follow quite a lot of motivational speakers. Mine are, I don't know if you've heard of Simon Sinek, Mel Robbins, Neil Patel, Nia Ayal. Why? Because I feel that there's something that rings. Things that they say, things that they do. They talk about scheduling. They're talking about what do you do the first thing that you wake up. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to talk about later on. And also make new connections, just like you and I, Yuri. I feel like we jumped on a Zoom session beforehand. Why? We're just building more meaningful relationships. And I think this helps for you to be a better freelancer. Build a community. And you know what? Continue to learn. Watch TED Talks. Read other informative articles, and of course, books. Now, another, I suppose, challenging part of being a freelancer, I haven't finished yet, unless you want to jump in, is finding your niche. And I know we had kind of a conversation about that. Generally, think about as freelancers as such a challenge. Because, yes, for example, I'm a coach, and I have a lot of people who also want to be a coach just like me. So how do I stand out? How do you stand out? Like, what is unique about you? Every day I'm learning, okay? I'm understanding what the client wants. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. What do I mean by nitty gritty? Pains of the clients to reach satisfaction. I want the client to feel that they want more, and I want them to come back too. So I'm constantly learning. They're teaching me, okay? I'm not a lawyer, but I'm learning what is the script that the lawyer needs at their work when they need to present. What does a CEO need when he needs to present? Constant learning. And here goes, after 3 years or so, this is what I think my niche is, and it's really simple, because I want everyone to think about what it is to have a niche. English as a second language, communicate your message at business meetings, presentation events, on courses and pitches. And to narrow it down even more, Start with psychological blockers. Know the company's values plus challenges, and how do you fit with the right script and dialogue together. Jumpstart your career. Now, I added those extra things only because I'm still learning. But we only need a sentence or two, okay, to say who you are.
I'd like to ask you, so basically what you've told, what I've heard, that freelancer definitely have to learn for sure. I totally agree because, like getting more and more information makes your brain work harder and you create additional neurons in your mind that are connecting. That's exactly how you getting new ideas, finding how to do things better, how to delegate things better, how to partner with somebody. But I'm still curious. So basically, you've talked about freelancing, but what does it mean to be a leader as a freelancer?
I feel like we're in a flow here and I don't want us to lose it. Okay, is how do you wake up? Think about before we even speak to other people, before we even have our coffee in the morning, what kind of mindset do you have? And this is so important. I've learned this a lot through some of the motivational speakers I spoke about before, as well as other experts that I've jumped on with a chat on Zoom, Teams, or just even through emails, okay, is to create a positive mindset. But I can say that very easily. I can say, wake up and think positive. But how do we do that? So this is, it's a trick question, Yuri, of course. And what do we do? And I think we spoke about this quite a while back together, is we kickstart our emotional engine. It's all about our emotions. It's how we deal with our emotions. Because if we wake up in a bad mood for whatever reason, that's how we're going to start our day. So how do we manage our emotions so we're able to think positive mindset, growth mindset? And I say the first thing you need to do is find a good place to be inspired to work. Because you won't even be able to have the chat that we're having now, or even have a presentation, if you are not in a calm, inspirational, let's say, place in your mind. If you're distracted, if you're stressed, other things are going to come in and you will not actually play the active listener. And how do we play the active listener? Is that we're actually empathizing and actually voicing and communicating the similar language, not exact language, and therefore we're creating a dialogue, and there becomes a partnership. So I start with the table, the desk where you're working, because this is where most people work. It could be even at a cafe, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so have inspirational objects, photos, pictures, even music, because like we said, one of the, I don't know if you know, I don't know if you feel this way as well, but being a freelancer, it can get really lonely. So sometimes we do need to actually set our environment up so we feel good inside ourselves. Okay, if we don't have a window, as you can see, I know, well, you can't really see now, but when I'm on Zoom, I usually have different backgrounds. Like I'm at the seaside, or I have books at the, with a nice sofa in the back. Why? Because I want my clients, my students, the people that I'm working with, partnering with, to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it also calms me as well. So we can build a good relationship from the beginning. I would really recommend, if you have a window, if there are trees, face your desk by the window, because this has got a calming effect. There has been research done. And again, if you don't have any windows, like I said, nice paintings, just have a good environment around you, not too distracting. Okay, here's another tip. You asked me about it, being a leader as a freelancer. Me, myself, and I is to shine. How do you shine as a leader, as a freelancer on your own? I always think about what strategies can you think of. a bit like brainstorming with a team, but you're doing it with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you wake up in the morning, every morning. This is at the beginning. Think about it. Think about when you're going to go to the gym. I don't know if you go running. Do you go running, Yuri? Or
From time to
exercising?
time.
Great. So you know that when you don't do it for a while, it takes quite a while to get back into it. Could be the walking, could be the running. Okay? Even say, for example, if you haven't cycled, it will take quite a while to get back into it. And then when you've got it, you feel great. So think about that 5-minute warm up every morning, okay? Before you start, before you check your emails, before you check your agenda items, and even issues that you're actually urgent issues, like have to happen right now. You go, wait a minute, this is me time. I need to actually find who I am and what do I want to do today. Now, again, that's very easy to say. I'm going to help you with that. All right. So we're going to wake up your emotions, like I said before, kindly. We're very creative people, us freelancers, and sometimes we want to jump further than we can. And I think it's so important to hug yourself and be kind to yourself, especially the first thing in the morning when you're at your desk and you've got so many things you have to do and you have no time. Just step back. You are the team. Maybe you don't have any other people around you. Okay. So you need a blank canvas. And how do you do that? You close your eyes. Even if you are, let's say, outsourcing, again, the pressure's on you. You got to come in quite, really calm. So close your eyes. And this is what I want you to think of as a freelancer. What superpower will you use today? I'll give you a few to think about. Curious, goal-driven, game changer. Now, the next step, which is quite a bit of a challenge, is do it with confidence. Because you're going, oh, this feels a bit silly. I don't know if I want to do this on my own. Now, there's a great TED talk by Amy Atkins on being confident. And she says, picture your success when you're beginning a difficult task. Okay? You can just start off with the word success. And what does it mean to you? Just one word in the morning. Let's look at an example of what success could mean. Okay? Let's think big to begin with. Okay? Because some people may just like the word success. Some people may just like thinking of, I don't know, like you've got a medal or everyone's clapping, or I don't know. What do you think of, Yuri, when you think of success?
I don't know, like millions of dollars, maybe.
Fantastic. I love it. So let's go there. I mean, even if it's ambitious, even if it's a dream, dreams always start small. Okay. Let's take an example. How can we relate to the success of a company like Starbucks? Starbucks with millions of dollars. Yes. They had to start somewhere, just like you and me as freelancers. So let's look at our brands as being, for example, a freelance hipster, really cool, setting the trend, making it personal, and really understanding the pains of our customers. So maybe this is how you can break down what it is like to be a success. This is what Starbucks did. Imagine, it could be as simple as that, okay? But you're still stuck and you still don't know, well, how can I lead? How can I have this positive mindset? We spoke about music before. Okay. What kind of music do you listen to that gets you going, Yuri? Do you have like a specific type of music that you like, or you don't, this is not something you haven't thought about before?
All types of things, all type of Eminem, Linkin Park, Sia, like a lot of artists that have amazing songs and they're motivational. And yeah, it's all about, like doing this stuff, like going forward, like don't care about like all these challenges, overcome them. And yeah, it's always a win at the end of the day.
Great, great. So it's finding the music that will get you going. Like I know for me, I quite like house, trance, electronic, with quite a fast beat, sometimes without even words because it gets me going. If I'm writing blogs or if I'm writing pictures, or preparing presentations, I sometimes listen to classical music. And I know Spotify has great, let's say working music. They have all types. If you have Apple, I'm sure they also have. Yeah, you can look into Apple. I'm not sure about Apple. Do you have Apple at all, Yuri?
Yeah, I'm using Spotify. It's much
Yeah,
better.
excellent. Okay, great. Okay, but so you listen to music that will get you going. But if there is a meeting or a pitch around the corner or you're quite stressed, okay, or you feel a little bit like, oh, like, I don't know, a bit anxious, I don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, your heart starts beating and you're thinking, okay, I've got this 5 minutes and I'm not really calm. You have a face-to-face meeting or it's online, jump into a powerful pose. Get your arms open, stand up. I'm standing up now.
Yeah,
And I feel powerful now. And
got it.
hey, now that's the body. That's your body language. You don't have to show anyone this. Even if it's an online meeting, you don't have to show anyone, but you can always do this in the 5 minutes. You can just stretch, stand up, walk, however you feel that makes you feel powerful, success. But now we need the script. We need the words. It's great that we have the music and we have the pictures and we have, we imagining, but not all of us have, let's say, like a really wild imagination. Sometimes we need specific words or sentences to guide us. So here I'm going to help you with that a little bit. So let's look at, for example, here's a question. How am I supposed to do that? Could be any
Mm.
difficulty you have as a freelancer. I don't know. Yuri, can you think of a difficulty as a freelancer and you'd ask this question, how am I supposed to do that? Maybe you've been in
Yeah,
a
it's
situation.
easy. How am I supposed to find new clients? It's all questions that freelancer have.
Great, great. So how do you feel when you ask that question? Like, what do you think is coming up? The feelings when we say, "Oh, I don't have enough clients, or I need to find more clients." What's going on? Emotions,
Yeah,
like,
it's always anxiety. It's always like, the first response is definitely anxiety. Oh my God, what am I going to do next? But then I'm starting like, okay, so calm down. Like, let's think about it. So what can I do to find clients? Like what I'm the best in? How can I be out there? How can I present myself? And then, when I'm starting doing stuff, when I'm starting taking steps to find clients, it's becoming easier. So the first thought is really hard. But then the more I'm doing stuff, the easier it becomes.
great. So this and again, do you have like a word that kind of motivates you that you like if you get stuck, or do you feel that the more you practice, it gets better?
I can't say that I'm like, can feel something when I'm stuck. When I'm stuck, I'm always like going out of the computer and do some stuff out there, maybe clean the house or whatever. But also I have this moment from this Eminem song Phenomenal. So it's like I'm gotta remind myself that I am phenomenal. So at the moment I'm stuck, I'm like, you're but yeah, phenomenal. So and then like it's so much easier to do that. And yeah, that's how it works for me.
Right. So, Yuri, as you can see, we're kickstarting our emotions, okay, with that question. Already, and already you're giving us a great example of how to have a positive mindset. Okay, choosing even though there is this frustration of I don't have enough clients, or how am I supposed to do that? So here's a sentence that can help you. Remember, this is even before we go to a presentation or a pitch or some kind of collaboration or partnership, talk, business meeting. Okay. Here's a sentence. It seems or sounds or looks like I need more clients and I need to consider what is necessary here. Organic or paid marketing. Now, before I continue with more questions, you see it seems or sounds or looks like I. And then what you're doing is you're touching your feelings without even going, oh, I don't have to even think that hard about it, because that sentence is giving us feelings. Because seems is like you're looking, you're thinking, you're looking, you're feeling. Sounds is about hearing, and looks, okay, what you see, what's your vision, okay? Another question you could say to continue the story, because you don't have enough clients and you're thinking, I don't know how to, like, organic or paid marketing. That's usually what everyone says. Organic is I go out into my community. I reached out to my friends. I speak to people. One time I went to my hairdresser and I actually got a client, in the salon because I wasn't selling. I was just talking and we were sharing stories together. And they said, I love your English. I love the way how you present yourself. And I'm going, great. You know that I'm a business and legal communication effective coach. And they said, really? And I go, yeah. And I said, well, what do you want? And then we continued the conversation. But again, it's thinking, this is at the beginning when you start as a freelancer, because it's trial and error. You want to try and find your niche. And we spoke about this beforehand. So again, I continue the question, who is your reach? Like, who are you targeting? So even though you're open and you're saying yes to everyone, after a while, you'll need to narrow it down, especially as you go along. You need to find out, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And this is where I go back to, courses and studying and actually evaluating yourself. And how do you do that? By getting, for example, polls, getting your community to fill in polls, Google forms, with specific questions, because then you can actually look at the data, and give look at rankings. Like, for example, would you recommend me 1 out of 10? Why do you do all of this? Because it's important to see, how are you? I tell the students, or I tell my clients, or I tell people that I'm working with when we start to evaluate together, I said, it's not about how I'm improving, it's about how you are improving. Let's track it together. Let's find out, what is it that you need that I'm not understanding? And I want us to get better. And I do this at the beginning of our, let's say, encounter when we first meet. I do it usually in the middle, and then I do it at the end, just to check, where are we? I don't know I can see Yuri. I can feel like there's something that I mean, this is so, it seems that you want to say something to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, but I totally love this switch from I don't have to it seems, because it's like totally different. Because when I say I don't have like your state in it, and then it seems, okay, so what can I do with that? And Vanessa, I really wish to have the sky as a limit, but time is a limit to our conversation. So let me a little sum up. So how to motivate yourself. So what I heard, first of all, prepare your working space, then create your motivational playlist to, have some pump music. Then imagine your success before every conversation. Next, prepare yourself emotionally and move from this I don't to it seems. So there are a lot of different stuff to practice, and I bet that if people will do just these small steps, I bet it will improve their feelings. And also what I understood, that to lead others, you have to start leading yourself, because how can you lead others if you can't lead yourself? And I have this final question for you. Okay. It's a little fun. What is your favorite food?
steak and chocolate, but not together.
Got it. Maybe. Have you tried it together?
No, but I've heard that chefs have kind of put like it's savory with sweet, like a chocolate sauce. But maybe tomorrow.
Once I tried fries with an ice cream, so it's very tasty. So maybe it might work. So let's see. And thank you so much, Vanessa, for sharing your experience. And it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
Thank you, Yuri, too, for having me.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button, 5 stars, and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.